and then kind of just, get into the season to where obviously the season's been great. I've been following. This is the first time, like, I usually watch the big games of like LSU, but now I'm like, I gotta. It's been perfect so far because Notre Dame and LSU haven't really played at the same time.
Yeah.
So I've been able to watch both, and I also love like the CBS guys, the SEC guys. But I watched we're talking about the Tennessee game for a bit. Obviously a huge game, and things started off rocky from the start.
No doubt.
So kind of just talk about like things that you might have learned from that game, because that was probably. Or it was like the big, our first loss in the stadium,
Sure.
in front of your fan base. So kind of just talk about that game and what you've learned from it.
I think our guys learned about preparation has to be so much more intentional, and it's not just, hey, let's check the box on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday preparation. Let's be more intentional, more purposeful in our preparation. Because if you're sloppy at all against really good teams, you're going to get exposed. And as you mentioned, our start is we gave them 10 points before the 12-minute mark. So you start spotting teams because of your own mistakes. You're going to get beat, and then it just kind of got away from us. So I think we went back and we looked at, all right, how did we prepare ourselves? And I thought our guys went back and prepared differently, much more intentional. They were much more focused in practice, and we saw that carry over to the Florida game the next week where they played so much better.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that happened twice. Obviously, after the Florida State game, that was a roller coaster in itself. For a fan, a fun one to watch. And then also they responded very well the next week. And then also the Tennessee, like you just mentioned, they responded well against Florida. Does that go into like the process and everything that you talk about?
See, I think the first game was more about not having the continuity with players playing together. And this as a safety. We had some guys back there that didn't communicate with each other ever before. We had some transfers. So we had some missed coverage assignments. We had some things that were kind of the newness of playing together. When we kind of got that figured out in the second half, we played really well, but it was just a little too late and we made a silly mistake on an extra point, or, maybe things are different. I think the rest of the season now, it's been about them understanding preparation and how to prepare the right way. And then when you get to the game, flipping that preparation to performance. And I think they're getting better at it each and every week, and I think we've seen that the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. And now you guys have been rolling, the past 2 weeks, 45 points in each game. I think Jaden is playing very well at quarterback. Do you think the bye week, might have, slowed the momentum down a little bit?
I think you can look at it one of two ways. One, you want to keep playing and keep going. Or two, let's use this as kind of an active recovery and a reset, mentally and physically. They know where they're at, and they know what they need to do to be really good.
Right.
I think it's a good way to kind of step back a little bit and say, okay, we got 1 month left in the season. Here's what we need to do to really be the best version of ourselves. So, I think it's all about the way you think about it.
Right.
They could use a little time, and they have, but they're going to reset the right way, and I think we'll come back Monday and be ready to go.